What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin and the possibility of it reaching $40,000. We're going to dive into the charts and go over some technical analysis with you guys. I'm going to give you guys an inside look at what I'm looking at to stay level-headed during times like these. And really, I want to just begin by talking about really what happened ever since we broke our $20,000 all-time high. You can see that leading up to our $20,000 all-time high, we had quite a bit of momentum, especially after breaking our $14,000 level, especially if we zoom out here to, like, say, like the weekly. When we left our 900-day downtrend, we broke above it, $12,000. Let's go ahead and look at this line chart here. You can see $12,000 was really one of the last levels we were watching because it was never closed above with any weekly time frame. The line chart makes it a lot easier to see. And once we broke above that $12,000, that's when things really started to kick off, let alone 20,000. So let's go back in here to the candlestick chart. Let's go back to the 4-hourly. And so really, honestly, once we broke our $20,000, sorry, our $14,000 high here, we were following a couple trend lines that I have drawn in here. You can see many support resistance flips as we move through these lines. We already discussed that in my last video, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that. What we did do is we did form some nice consolidation under 20K to build some nice support for the future, because you can see here, once we found our resistance at $20,000, which was really psychological and our previous all-time high, we formed a ascending triangle. You can see it here where we had our baseline resistance of 20,000 roughly, and we kept forming higher lows up to it. So you could take a measured move from here, from measuring the baseline of it towards the bottom of this triangle here. And if we take that to our point of the breakout, you can see that we measured and met our target of $24,000. And then after we met that target of $24,000, Bitcoin ended up consolidating again. We formed a horizontal triangle, or you could call it a bull flag. What's interesting about this bull flag is you can see we could take the same measurement from the point of the breakout from our $20,000 all-time high here, and it's actually the same length of this flagpole here, and we take it to the point of the breakout of this bull flag. We ended up actually reaching another target of this pattern, which took us to then $28,000. And after $28,000, we were met with some resistance. We had a little bit of a pullback. We consolidated again. We were forming a rising wedge, which is technically a bearish pattern, but bearish patterns don't play out until confirmed. We never broke this downtrend line here. And what's interesting about this pattern is, yet again, once we consolidated and broke out of here, you could take the measure move again from this breakout period and the flagpole and measure it up again. And we met basically another target, a little overshoot, of our $35,000, which we're currently hanging out at right now. And now we're at an interesting time because right now we're testing our all-time high pretty much. And so what I expect now in the short term is either a breakthrough of this, because you can see that we kind of had a descending channel here, or another little bull flag, if you will. This one's a little harder to measure. I'm not going to lie. I don't really have a clear spot to do it, but I'm coming up with that $40,000 price figure from a couple things. One, we could take a move from this breakout here to our all-time high, and if we put it at the point of the breakout here, it would take us to about 37,000-ish. Or if we have another scenario play out, let's just say we actually get rejected here one more time. It doesn't mean it's the end of the world just yet. Something I'm kind of looking at right now is if we extend this trend line out here from our previous resistance here, follow my mouse here, we're going to come all the way through here. We found some support on it again. And I'm going to carry it all the way out to honestly here, because I think it's possible that if we get rejected here, maybe we come down and test the lows one more time, maybe down here around this $32,000 region. Where you can also see we had some minor support and resistance flips, so I could toss that green line in right there. In the short term, that's what I'm going to look at, because honestly, if we break this trend line, then it's very probable that if we break this trend line and this local level of support here, it's definitely possible that we come back down to our $30,000 low here, or test even much lower. We'll get to that in a little bit, but let's just say we come down to here, then I would expect that to be bought up, and maybe, what do you guys think you see here again? Maybe another potential bull flag or ascending triangle. So we'll see. If that's the case, if we do form this bigger triangle here, then what I'm looking at is a breakout of, again, this baseline of the triangle all the way up to here, except now the new point of the breakout would be, let's just say it's somewhere over here, like middle of March, sorry, middle of January. That would put us up to almost $40,000. Is this possible? Absolutely. Bitcoin's been rallying quite hard for quite some time now. You could see it's picking up momentum. It's definitely gaining a lot of attention in the media. I believe everyone's waiting for a pullback, and I don't know. I feel like we're going to get a pullback, absolutely, especially since we've already kind of looked at this previous bull cycle where we've had, pretty big pullbacks. I mean, 40% there. another 40%, 30% right there, another 30% right there. But I think everyone's waiting for these pullbacks and the price is just kind of getting away from them. So my suggestion to everybody else is to watch certain things play out. You got to have a plan. You want to stay on the right side of this. There's a lot of money to be made in crypto, but it's a very volatile market. It's hard to stay on top of. So what I'm looking at for the pullbacks, sorry, let's go back to that weekly here. What I'm looking for in the pullbacks, if we take a look at the RSI down here, we're quite overextended here. We're above the 90 level. We're actually hanging out right now at 93. And the last time Bitcoin has hung out above the 90 level here, we could see a couple times we've reached this level, a couple times we reached this level here. And if we take a look at what happened after we've reached those points, this was calling pretty monumental drops in Bitcoin's price point if we got a reversal from this 90 level. Back here was about a 72% fall. Back here was the whole bear market from 2015, or what is this, 2014, 13, yeah. You can see all these recent ones then from our all-time high. All these are pretty big drops. So in the short term, I would absolutely recommend watching this 90 level. If we get rejected and come down from here, we will most likely come down to test our lower level trend lines of support, or any of these green lines here for support. I don't know which ones just yet because the price keeps moving up and that can always just change. Let's just say theoretically the top is in place right now. If we take our 30-40% drop from here, 30% puts us beautifully at our $24,000 previous resistance. You can see we had resistance here for about, how many days was this? 8 days. Not that much, but short term. But we also have confluence with this nice little bit longer term trend line coming in here. So I like seeing 2 spots of support right here. Or let's say Bitcoin does end up going a little bit higher. Let's say it hits that $40,000 top that we were talking about. Oh, sorry, let's grab that. Let's go up to about like 40,000. If we pull down from 40,000, a 30% pullback would be then just up here at $28,000, which we've already tested as support. But honestly, my favorite way to look for a pullback is going to be just pulling up this indicator right here. We're going to pull up some moving averages. I'm only going to focus in on one here though, so give me 1 second. I'm just going to remove all of these guys. We're going to make this a nice bright yellow, a nice and thick line, and switch this over to the weekly time frame. This is going to be the 21-week moving average. This line plays a major role in Bitcoin price point in the bull market. You can see in the previous bull cycle, we pretty much always held this line as support the whole entire way up. And it wasn't until we broke this line and back tested it as resistance where the bear market then started. So I think it's really important to watch this line in the future. It's a moving target. Right now, notice it's creeping up at that $20,000 all-time high. And will continue to do so as the price action continues to adjust. So in the future, if we pull back, whether it's right now, whether it's 40,000, whether it's a lot higher than that, this line's going to move up, and we're going to want to see the pullback come down. And it's quickly going to be bought up, so have a plan, get your buys ready. And yeah, that's pretty much all I really wanted to cover today. Bitcoin's looking really bullish. If we go back to a daily really quick too, I wanted to point out these wicks are pretty monstrous. It's showing a lot of people want to buy some cheap Bitcoin. This was no joke. This was a $6,000 drop. You know, it dropped about 20%. Damn, that's a lot actually. Dropped 20% and has then recovered the entire move and back up about 24%. That's this Bitcoin for you guys. I mean, it's really volatile. Very difficult trading environments. That's why I recommend dollar cost averaging. I'm not an investment advisor. But yeah, I'm glad we got to have that little session. I wanted to show you what it was like when I'm studying the charts and having a good session looking at them. This is pretty much what I do on a daily basis. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. I'll update you guys when Bitcoin breaks out of this range here in particular, and we'll talk about what to expect next. I appreciate all the feedback on my Instagram and my Snapchat. I love giving back all the success that Bitcoin's brought me myself. I'll continue to post crypto talk segments on my Instagram. All the links will be in the description below. Car content is definitely coming soon. We're in the winter season like I was telling you guys. I expect next season to be huge. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.